Welcome to another episode of Around the Mic. I'm your host, Rick. Today I have Aaron, Beth, and Jimmy to talk about this past 2 weeks news in gaming. Today we're going to start out with new DLC, well not DLC, but an update from Rockstar. I think it's called Lowrider's Cruise to Grand Theft Auto 5. Basically it adds more customizations to your cars. Now, I know this is probably...
Is that big news?
Not really.
After the last news
especially,
that they had?
considering, with the kind of the statements they made last week, or not last time that we talked about them. About them kind of, saying, I'm not going to worry about single player anymore. It's all about...
But here's some cars. Is that what this is?
Well, customization to cars.
Okay, it's just cars.
Well, I know that's what GTA is anyway, but I mean,
right,
the majority of the time you're
don't you want to customize that?
Here, which, that's fine.
With all the people running wild in multiplayer?
I understand all that, and I'm sure it will be a high-selling DLC, because people really do like to customize their cars in that game. But are people really going to be as interested?
Have you played the online?
Yes, I have played the online. If you can get out of your apartment and then customizing your car and driving around is great.
Right. You don't ever get to see your car.
Yeah.
All I say is you do is throw yourself in safe mode. You're fine.
But
then what's the point of playing online? Why not just play single player?
Well, because
there's no content.
Right, exactly.
And there we go.
But I mean, any sort of customization is good.
It's true.
Like I'm never against that. Just because that's a big thing that I had with the cars in that is that a lot of times it was the same.
It wasn't the manly women.
I don't know. I didn't see a lot.
Mine was not a manly woman. I got her looking pretty fly.
Other than my character, you could not make any girl look good in that game. I'm sorry. I don't care how Asian you made her look. To get those feminine features, which I don't know if that's quite racist on Rockstar's part or not. But I didn't see a lot of pink doom buggies running around, and that's what I rolled in. And I didn't, care if people shot me out of it, because they weren't going to take my car. Nobody wanted that thing. But I thought I was cool and driving around. I never won any races, but I'm not good at driving in games, and I'm the first to admit that. So.
Yeah, gotcha. So car customization means nothing to you.
Yeah, I just think that that's not something that they should be focusing on when they had promised all of this, with the heist stuff, and now they're not going to bother with that anymore.
Oh, it's too hard to be a game developer. We'd rather just do the easy way and get shark money.
Exactly. I mean, pretty much like that. I don't understand what their thinking is with supporting this game now that it's been out so long. Like, I don't understand their direction.
Well, it's probably shit that they didn't even make. It's probably they already had it, and it was just released.
Yeah,
right, well, the specific DLC, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
those teams are separate, of course.
Yeah.
So, good news that it's new content, but really, overall, doesn't really help.
Is it the content that you want?
Right.
Is it the content that we were expecting?
Next, I wanted to talk about new Warhammer 40,000 game. I've mentioned a few times there's a deluge of Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 games getting ready to come out.
They're all worth it.
I believe so. This new one's called Death Watch Enhanced.
Oh, that's not fair.
What's that?
I was like, what do you think
He's
about
taunting me.
Oh, right. We'll get to that in a second. But it's a Death Watch 40,000. I'm sorry, Warhammer 40,000 Death Watch Enhanced, which was actually there was a mobile version of this, and then they decided to bring it up to other platforms, and they call it an enhanced version. It looks like it plays a lot like XCOM. And which is fine by me, because I like the tactical strategy games. Yeah, I'll probably pick this up. I think it actually released a couple of days ago, so it's got a discount on Steam right now. So if you're eager to get that, if that's your kind of game.
No, I have no interest whatsoever.
You just don't like Warhammer in general, because
I'm a little biased because I had to deal with one that came out a few years ago that had a few promotional issues with pre-order bonuses and things like that. So, I mean, but since I haven't been dealing with that, it kind of just put me off the game, and I've never really gotten into it. It's not a big deal now that I'm not working in that business anymore.
Yeah, and I'm glad.
But I will say, I mean, if they're going to be promoting this game, I hope that they're on their toes with that.
Well, it's Steam, so
yeah. I'm pretty excited for this. All these Warhammer games coming out. That's a rich world to base a lot of games in, and I'm glad to see a lot of developers taking the time. It's like, hey, let's do something with this. It's been around forever. Why not?
And they take it in different directions too.
Yes.
They don't always take it the same way that the original ones were with their RTS. They've gone all over the board with them.
Oh yeah, and then now, Total War game developer, Creative Assembly.
Right.
Yes, I can't believe I forgot that. They've got their game coming out, which will be the first time that they are branching away from historical
Oh, so is
content
that just
in
a
their games.
Warhammer? Or
It's,
is that
yeah,
a
it's just
4K?
it's just Warhammer.
Okay, yeah.
The fantasy Warhammer, which is I'm fine with that too. There's actually
Yeah,
several of those
obviously
games
they're
coming out.
Very good.
So I'm really hyped up for the Warhammer stuff. All right, next up, Call of Duty. They've announced Black Ops 3. They've announced a new multiplayer mode. I think they've called it they're just calling it a free run multiplayer mode. But the way
They're
that
calling it Mirror's Edge mode.
right, the way that Game Informer described it as, a take on, they're taking a lot away from Mirror's Edge and probably Titanfall as well, with the wall running and all
So
that
they're
good stuff.
turning Call of Duty into parkour game?
That is
Yeah.
actually what it sounds like, yes.
Well,
It
So
has
now
a
I'm going to have to
pure...
worry about a sniper running to the top of buildings and some
Well,
crazy...
no.
I'm going to take him out.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
multiplayer mode, though, so I'm sure there's going to be some combat
probably-
involved.
Is it
with
like
that.
racing, though? I mean, it could
Maybe
just
it's
be
speed
like
runs,
racing.
yeah.
Well, it's a movement option, actually. I'm sorry. But it is part of a game, I think a specific game mode, though. You'll be able to wall run, power slide, and string a group of moves together to do some really crazy stuff to get through some crazy obstacles. You'll compete against solo against the clock.
Right.
It won't change the fact that there'll be a bunch of teenagers.
Oh, no, not at all.
riots,
Not at all. It's
Call of
still gonna
Duty,
sell
You
its
meet a bunch of
Black Ops.
mommies and daddies.
right. So it will still
Christmas
still
is right around the
Yeah,
corner.
it's
Right.
not going to have any problem getting off the shelves.
Yeah.
Well, except that there's no physical copies.
Right. I was like, what shelves are you talking about? When was
Are
the
you
last
referencing
time you
something
went
else?
down to the game store and
We'll
got
dig
a...
at another video.
Wanted to briefly mention that Dying Light's got a new DLC announced, the following. I don't think there's a whole lot in the way of details yet other than its pricing, $15. So it's probably got a substantial amount of new content into it. But not a whole lot of details have been released yet.
It actually brings in a horse and you get some armor for it.
I'm sure their horse will
Yeah,
be around the
their
corner.
last DLC
No,
was
right.
done right.
Right.
From
Well, they
what I
introduced
understand,
the vehicles in the last DLC. What was it called? Do you recall?
I don't.
I don't remember the name of that one.
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
Vehicle
there,
DLC.
Well,
Driving light.
Yeah.
Oh, clever. I do eventually want to get Dying Light. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I did like the idea, and I will eventually.
Well, and I watched a lot of people stream it when they first picked it up, and it looked really fun. A lot of the parkour works really well. It was, of course, Zombie Dropkick Simulator.
Right.
14 or whatever. But
Which
yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to. I mean, I haven't
It was
played
fun,
it either,
yeah.
but it sounds like a good time.
Right.
It was.
Maybe
I'm
something to
gonna
pick up
take
for the
one of
winter.
Zombies. I mean, everybody's doing the shooting them, so why
Right.
not
Drop
kick
kick.
them?
Melee them.
Chuck Norris.
All right, so what was it? A couple of days ago, earlier this week, Bethesda released a new live-action commercial for Fallout 4. They did an excellent job at capturing the game in this. Of course, it was a nice mixture of, CGI and then,
Yeah.
live
The
action.
part where he shoots the rad roach at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Offhandedly. It's just, yes. That's what you want to do in the game.
Right.
Well, I was impressed with the Mr. Handy.
Oh, yeah, at the
I
beginning.
was just
Yeah,
like,
it looked
oh,
really good.
yeah.
And then I kind of thought, well, I know the timeline is different with this one. I was like, he's way too clean.
Right. Well, but he's supposed to be at
Right,
the beginning.
he's supposed to be,
yeah.
because this isn't as far into the meltdown.
Right. Well,
with
it's
this
because
one.
it starts before.
It starts before,
Yeah.
right. So I understand why he's all
No.
super shiny and spiffy.
Right.
And,
I wonder if we'll see degradation like that at the further, more hours you put
That's
into
what
the
I'm
game.
hoping. That's what
I
I'm
wonder if you'll-
thinking.
Did they say you'll grow a beard and stuff like
I
that?
believe that, but that's
Yes.
the game that's
Okay.
doing it. Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see your clothes get tattered unless you make new ones or whatever. Armor actually take physical damage until you repair it. And I wonder if they're going to include any kind of a system where you can only repair something so many times before it actually just breaks. I don't know.
That would be very disappointing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't like finalized system like that, no.
That was my one big issue with Dead Island is the degradation. I don't like any sort of degradation system.
I'm okay with some, but not like
Well, not-
if we're just going to
Yeah,
break
but I mean-
permanently.
Right, that's what I mean. Permanent, just something permanently gone because you put all this time to build it up and make it and find the parts to do it,
Right.
and then you can only use it for so
Well,
long.
You can use it for
It's
X,
gone.
and then
Right.
after that, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And then I'm like, well, sorry with your game then.
I don't know that that's true. I mean, a lot of the games where they had degradation, you can. I think with Fallout, you could at least make your items better by using duplicates and
Right.
Well,
making it that
yeah,
way.
but
And
it was
that's
always
fine.
unlimited. Yeah, but
Right.
it's
That's
whenever
great.
it breaks and then it's gone, that's when I've got a problem.
So perhaps
Even if you wore those weapons out, they were still there.
I don't know. I
in
have
an
more of an
unusable
issue with
state.
needing more alien ammo for my pew 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 gun.
All right.
I love that gun.
Those are called console commands.
That's not even
all
where I was
ammo.
going with that.
Right.
Keeping with Bethesda news, they have announced a alpha for Doom.
Doom.
Saw the reveal at E3. I'm pretty excited about that game. I'm not,
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna try to get into this alpha. I'm patient enough to wait for it to come
Well,
out.
yeah.
Retail, but it's cool. It seems like more developers are announcing these alphas to the general public to get the players involved more often, and I think that's a great thing to build, your customer base.
Yeah.
Telling them, hey, we value your opinion. So, kudos to you, Bethesda. Not that you need it anymore.
Should an alpha really be about for your customer base, or should it be about testing your game?
Well, and that's a
That's
trend that I'm seeing more and more.
Right,
that
that's
it's just
my
like,
issue with
they're
it.
opening up all these, and it's like, how much do they really get out of it? Other than free testers that they used to have to pay for.
Well, that's probably all they want out of it, to be honest.
right, that's-
Right.
yeah. And it is free testing for your
Well,
fans.
it doesn't seem like
Well,
they're doing it to
I
test
just wonder
the
if
server
it's
load
effective.
much,
Right.
because,
They're never prepared for day
there's
one
always...
for anything
Well,
that
if they're going to
requires a
have
server.
multiplayer, is Doom multiplayer what you go for?
Well, no.
Well,
It depends on how they do the multiplayer
guess.
in this new Doom.
It's not why I would play Doom.
Right. Well, I'm definitely wanting to play Doom for the single player, smashing some zombie heads with my boot.
Just going through and killing mindless. No, I don't need the scary shit from 3. I mean, that's not my Doom. That's not
really
Doom.
Doom,
It
yeah.
should just be killing lots of zombie
Yeah.
aliens.
Right. Right.
stick to what you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see?
So in indie game news, Allison Road, the spiritual successor to PT Playable Trailer, which was then supposed to be, a sneak peek for Silent Hills.
Thanks, Konami.
They have announced that they've been picked up by Team 17, the same guys who did Worms.
Wait, Team 17?
Yes, Team 17. They're going
That's
to
really
fund it.
random.
So they don't need to do the Kickstarter anymore. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was going to meet its goals for Kickstarter because the game, what they had out, the direction they were going, it's going to be good no matter what. So the fact that now that they've got some real backing, it's perfect.
Yeah, and especially from Team 17. Like,
Well, yeah.
it seems weird, though, that they would be so away from the Worms games, hilarious,
Right.
silly shooter games, and they're making something serious and scary.
It wouldn't be the first time that a developer did something completely different,
Very
like
good for
Valve,
them.
for instance, in
Right.
Steam.
True. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they don't put their hands in it. Hopefully they're just like, here's money. Go make your vision.
And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to let them continue on with what they've already been developing and then keep going in the direction they have been going. So it's definitely a plus all the way around.
I mean, otherwise you're going to see little worms show up. I mean,
I think they know better than that.
There's going to be an Easter egg game built into it.
oh, I'm sure.
There will be a nod somewhere.
I bet there were. Yeah, I think if there's not a little worm somewhere in there, I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
It's Team 17.
Maybe it'll be a cartridge in a kid's room somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Right.
it'll probably be like a kid's drawing
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You'll
I'm
see
just thinking
something
like a little,
pop
or
up.
maybe even like a little bobblehead. A little worm bobblehead.
So the beta for Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, happened. Over 9 million people played it.
It
of
happened.
people.
That's a good way to say it. It happened. It was there. It was a thing.
It was so popular that I don't think they extended the beta for this reason, but the beta was extended for a couple more days.
Yeah.
Which I took advantage of
To
myself.
keep that choo-choo going.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
train.
That hype
It's been,
train.
it's been really interesting. They did come out a few days ago and say, we realized that the Walker Assault map was very unbalanced.
Yeah, I mean, if you played any bit of that beta, you noticed it. I mean, unless you had a team that was
On it.
on point
Mm-hmm.
and were, had experience playing shooters or,
Right.
or an objective-based team game,
Mm-hmm.
then you were okay if you got stuff done fast.
Right.
But, you only had so much time, and it was all about getting those fighter jets, and you have to hold down those things. So this is going to kind of segue into an announcement that they just recently made, but there's not going to be any
Right.
online chat.
And I guarantee those games you were involved in were on the Rebel side and you won. Mm-hmm. It's probably because it had people that were in like a TeamSpeak or
absolutely.
Ventrilo channel and were coordinating.
Yeah. There were times, I mean, you can see me playing in some of the other videos if you go and look around,
Mm-hmm.
but there were times that I was in a party and we had gotten into a party and we're in party chat on the Xbox.
Okay.
And in there playing. So, but, you know, that's limited to only 8 people.
Right.
And you can have 20 people in a team.
Right.
So there's still no way on a console.
That's very limited.
Yeah, in a pub match, there's no way you're going to be able to communicate.
There's no way
and
you're going to be
coordinate.
able to communicate with everybody on your team.
So, what do you think the reason is for them not including any voice in game?
It's a Disney game.
Well, we were supposed to bury the lead.
Well, I mean, it's a Disney game, and they want to keep their ratings to where everybody can play it. It's Star Wars. I understand that.
That's how you get
Chat
that
is
T
toxic.
for team.
But-
So
yeah.
well, let me stop you there for a second. So when you include voice, it automatically changes the rating because of the potential that could
More
come
or
out of
less.
this.
Yeah,
say
it changes
on the
it
box
to,
that they're not rated.
rated, right.
Online is not rated.
So
at
what would be the
all.
harm in Disney having that? I mean, there's nothing
Well,
wrong with.
it's along the same lines of why Nintendo didn't include chat with Splatoon.
Yeah.
Is because it's a family kid oriented, and where Disney
They have
now
no
owns that
leaderboard there,
franchise.
don't they?
No. Well, they just put you can see your own stats on a new website that they released, but there's no because they don't want people to feel bad,
Right.
Right.
So but that's the
And
big
I'm
reason
okay
why.
with games like that. I mean, I hate when they add ranking systems and leaderboards to games. Like they did that.
Yeah.
Gears 1 didn't have any type of leaderboards or
It is
ranking.
that-
I hate multiplayer achievements like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
But the problem is that whenever you have an online, especially shooter, you need to be able to communicate with your team.
yeah, but there's
Well,
always
especially
trash
if it's
talking,
objective
too.
based.
Yeah,
Right. Well, and then that's the problem is that people are just toxic.
yeah.
You
People
know.
definitely. I mean, it's sad that it
Anonymity.
is part of the culture that online everybody's a bully sometimes. I mean,
Yeah, very toxic.
it's very. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. That I can't run into a game where everybody is talking in the room and they're actually communicating and making plans and working together. But that's so rare compared to the just straight up trash talking that you hear. I mean, right.
To be friendly, that's
Right,
yeah.
like to be PC.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
So you think Disney's
I
Disney's
think that
touch on
has
this?
something to do
I would
with
have
it.
to say,
I wouldn't
yeah.
say that it's all of it. I mean, just now
I'd
they
say
don't
it's
have to worry
95%
about
of it.
servers for it either, though.
Well, it is less resources they'd have to dedicate.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And with the computer, you can go to what is it, TeamSpeak, and
Ventrilo, mobile.
yeah,
whatever
there's
you
a bunch
want.
of different ones that you can use on the PC and
Yeah,
Xbox
but it causes more
and-
problem with exactly the
With the
consoles. Or
consoles.
Yeah, it's a
where
bigger
it's
issue
an
there.
issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it's still a problem on the PC platform too because if you're not in any kind of voice channel with some friends, you're still in a pub match.
Right.
And there's no in-game voice, so no way to coordinate
Right.
verbally.
1, 2, 3, go!